ever really wanted to buy something but put it off because you think there's something else better coming just round the corner? Well, that's the position I find myself in with my VR headset. In this video I outline why I'm having such a difficult time making a decision. And that decision is all the more difficult because of the number of new headsets due out in the market soon. Hi all, welcome to the Sim Hangar. My name's Mark, thanks for watching and let's get started. So here's the thing, I'm currently using the HP Reverb G2. It's the latest edition or model, the one with improved tracking and the spacer which allows you to get a bigger FOV. If during this video I've done a review on a particular product, I'll throw a thumbnail up on screen and I'll leave a link to that video in the notes below if you want to know more. Longer term subscribers will also be aware that I was fortunate enough to get access for about 6 to 8 weeks with the VARJO Aero. At the time I said it was a fantastic headset with the best resolution in VR I'd ever seen. And my view on that headset hasn't changed. So the question is, do I upgrade to the VARJO Aero or do I wait and take advantage of some new headsets coming out soon? 3 things are important to me in a VR headset. Obviously performance, comfort and visual fidelity, and I can state categorically without fear of contradiction that the VARJO Aero gives you the best display, the best clarity in a VR headset in its prosumer price category. But don't get me wrong, the HP Reverb G2 is a wonderful VR headset, whilst the clarity and resolution isn't that of the VARJO Aero. At 2160 by 2160 pixels per eye, it's right up there. Yes, it certainly has its disadvantages. The FOV, or field of view, isn't the best out there, and perhaps most importantly it has a very small sweet spot. But these are no longer major concerns of mine. Through the use of VR lenses, as I do wear glasses, and a studio form weight balancer, plus strap which has elevated the HP Reverb to the most comfortable headset I've ever worn. And with these add-ons, yes, it's even more comfortable than the VARJO Aero. At the time I reviewed the VARJO Aero, I stated it was my intention to buy that headset, but I'd have to wait a little while whilst I saved up enough money to do so. That headset's in a completely different price category to the HP Reverb, which retails for around £580, and less when it's on sale. The Aero on the other hand, well, that's £2,000 plus, and as mentioned earlier, it falls into the prosumer category. As an avid VR enthusiast and a flight sim-holic, the VARJO Aero does appeal to me. However, I do get that the appeal is very niche. If you ask me today which headset is best bang for your buck, I would personally recommend without hesitation the HP Reverb G2. Its closest competitor, the MetaQuest 2, until recently held a price advantage. But to a large degree that advantage is gone following a £100 or $100 price increase, plus the need for a link cable. The Reverb is still slightly more expensive, but for the improved resolution and considerably better comfort, in my personal opinion, it's a winner hands down. Anyway, moving on. I've now been able to save enough money to buy the VARJO Aero, but in all honesty, I'm now undecided. And yes, of course, the price has something to do with it, and also the fact that I'm really happy with the HP Reverb G2. But it's not just those issues that are making me procrastinate. It seems to me over the years that VR development seems to come in waves. Perhaps it's just my perception, but we seem to get a whole lot of new headsets and then things go quiet for a while. And with all the development recently in the marketplace, well, I think we might be heading towards the crest of another development wave. So my real quandary is this: do I plumb for the VARJO Aero, or do I stick with my HP Reverb G2 for now and see what's coming round the corner? And there's quite a lot. I'm not going to run into infinite detail on each of the headsets, and of course some of that information isn't available anyway, but here's a quick roundup and summary of some of the headsets we can expect to see in the not too distant future. But before we dive in with that, I'm also conscious of the saying that a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. The products that we're going to be talking about now, well, they're not out in the market at this point, but the VARJO Aero is there. The risk, of course, for me is that I wait and I end up with, well, nothing. Let's move on and touch on some of the upcoming developments. You may or may not be too familiar with a company called Pico Immersive. They've been a player in the VR market for some time, and not too long ago have launched the Pico Neo 3, which is a Quest 2 competitor, but it's not that headset we're particularly interested in. But what's coming up is the Pico Neo 4. And what perhaps is important is that Pico is not a fly-by-night company. They're owned by ByteDance, the same company that owns TikTok, so they've certainly got some financial clout behind them. The Pico Neo 4 is likely to come out in two versions, one being a Pro. Much of the information is speculation at this time, but resolution will be 2160 by 2160 it's assumed, same as the HP Reverb G2, but they'll be using different optics with pancake lenses, or something close to that. The Pro model will have inbuilt face and eye tracking, so it would appear that it's building to be competition for Meta's next headset, known as Project Cambria. The Meta Cambria will also have face and eye tracking, designed for the metaverse as they call it, and considerably higher resolution than the Quest 2, but at a considerably higher price. Expectations in the market are twice or three times as expensive as the Quest 2, but once again will be PC VR and standalone. There's also a lot of speculation in the market with regards to the Valve Index successor. The Valve Index has been a huge success for Valve, and it's understood the development on the successor, known as the Decard, that's not likely to be its final name by the way, is well advanced. And of particular interest with this headset will be the screen technology, and whether or not it will include OLED micro displays on silicon. There's also another company you may not have heard of, Gear, which is due to release its headset in the fourth quarter 2022. Whether that'll happen or not remains to be seen. Again, featuring a 2160 by 2160 pixels per eye, inbuilt face tracking. It'll be a Steam VR device. Be interesting to see developments. However, I wouldn't be surprised to see this pushed back. Apple are entering the AR VR market, which could be a very big deal in the future. But once again, this will be a prosumer product. And the speculation is that the focus on the first generation will be very much on augmented reality as opposed to VR itself. But we won't see anything from them till 2023 for sure. What I haven't heard in the market is any successor to the HP Reverb G2. Is there going to be a G3? Well, I don't know. But it would be very surprising if HP didn't remain in the VR market. And talking about upcoming headsets, we have to mention Pimax. They made a big announcement some time ago on their upcoming 12K QLED VR headset, which is standalone and PC VR, and featuring the same resolution as the VARJO Aero at 35 pixels per degree. But the difference with the Pimax, of course, is the FOV or field of view. Pimax are known as offering the widest field of view on any headset, and the 12K QLED will be no exception, and it's due to launch in the fourth quarter of 2022 with a price in and around $2,400. And then recently Pimax confounded and dumbfounded the market by announcing yet another headset, the Pimax Crystal, and this one is due in the third quarter 2022. Well, we're mid-August now, and we're only 6 or 7 weeks away from the end of the third quarter. And the Pimax Crystal is unique in that it's got swappable lenses, coming default at 35 pixels per degree. Once again, same as the VARJO Aero. It'll feature both inside-out and base station tracking. Price-wise, we're looking in and around $1,800. Both of these headsets are using a different technology for their screen display. And I have to be honest, I'm interested in both of these, particularly the Pimax Crystal. But other than the launch event for both of these products, there's nothing available on the Pimax site for either of these headsets. And they got to ship 2 epic VR headsets within 3 months of each other, or at least launch them. Is this going to happen? Well, I certainly hope so. But, to be honest, I'm skeptical as to the feasibility and practicality of such a thing. We'll know soon. So here I am with the HP Reverb G2. I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. Looking at getting the VARJO Aero, but conscious of all the development taking place in the market, and from a personal point of view, particularly interested in what the Pimax crystal may offer. But have to admit to being skeptical with regards to the time frame and subsequent shipping dates and delivery dates thereafter. So once again the question, do I wait or do I go? And I suspect I'm not the only one facing this quandary. Are you also struggling with this decision? Let me know in the comments section below. I think if the Pimax crystal fails to materialize or fails to deliver on its promises, then it looks like the VARJO Aero for me. Time will tell, and it's not that long to wait. So for today, I'm sticking with the HP Reverb G2. I will of course be monitoring developments, and I'll keep you updated. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you found this interesting and informative. Stay well, look after yourself, see you all again very soon, and bye for now.